The Good Buddies Anime Podcast is hosted by two rowdy, foul-mouthed American cowboys. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey, Good Buddies, what's up, and welcome into the Good Buddies Anime Show. I am your Good Buddy Roger.
And I am your good buddy Brandon.
And we're just bouncing right off what we did last time, going into the sequel seasons.
Yes, sir.
Now, we only watched a few sequel seasons.
Yes, there are seven. There are quite a few.
There are a lot.
Yeah, some of which I am familiar with, some of which I've heard of. I got a little list here.
I feel like there's at least one that I probably missed that I should have watched because I watched the first season.
Maybe.
But, I mean, if you listen to our last episode, it has been a very long couple of weeks for me.
It's been a toughie.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff for me to get done.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, let me tell you guys, Good Buddies. Okay, being an orphan, hard work.
Oh, buddy.
It's hard work.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Let me tell you, you forever get the shield of whenever somebody says something like your significant other, they say something you don't like, you're like, you gonna treat an orphan like that?
That's fucked up, Roger. Roger, this is fucked up.
I've been doing it for 2 weeks straight, baby.
You're a bad person.
2 weeks straight.
I mean, no, you're not. You're not an orphan.
I'm an orphan, dude.
No, you're an orphan.
Where are my parents? Did you see them?
If you were a child in this, anyway. All right, we're not doing this anyway. We're gonna talk about some sequel seasons. I'm moving on, sir. Sorry, I am gonna do this to an orphan.
Let me just. I'm not using it wrong though.
He's looking at me real mad.
Let me see here.
He's Googling. Anyway, so quick breakdown of some of the sequel seasons this season, some of which we will talk about. This list I have here is not conclusive. It's from, what is this, animecorner.me. But like, I know it's not everything because there's at least one Dropkick on My Devil that I know is a sequel and we're not watching. We also have Classroom of the Elite Season 2, Overlord. Oh, I said that weird. Overlord Season 4. Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon Season 4. Jesus, how long are these going to
go? When using the word orphan applies to anyone who has lost their biological parents.
All right, man. In a broader sense, what was the more accepted, accurate sense?
Under 18.
Okay. Well, sure as hell ain't you, but in a broader sense, I will grant you this. Anyway.
So you know what, Good Buddies, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, if you haven't left us a 5-star review, please remember I'm an orphan. I ain't got no mom no more. I ain't got no dad no more.
Roger, may I continue?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
So, of the many sequel seasons this season, we have Classroom Elite Season 2, Overlord Season 4, Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon Season 4, Rent a Girlfriend Season 2. I didn't like the first one. Shadow's House is one we're going to talk about. Made in Abyss is one we're going to talk about. But the first one I think we're going to talk about is one that my good buddy Roger has been watching because he actually watched the first season. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to let him take it from here. Roger, would you please do me the great honor, you beautiful orphan boy.
Thank you.
Of telling me about The Devil is a Part-Timer Season 2.
Well, let me tell you, I've been waiting about 9 whole ass years for this season.
It's been a while, right?
Yeah. I love this show. It's, I think, referred to as a reverse isekai. I watched the show before I was even familiar with the term isekai.
There you go.
So the devil and a couple of his closest confidants, and then a warrior for good, an angel, get sent through a portal into modern day Japan. They're actually kind of warring to take over, the earth or whatever. Give a place. The devil's goal is to have a place for the demons to prosper. And it's framed kind of like, what you would think a war of good and evil is, but really neither of them are that bad. And you find out, quite quickly once they move into Japan, they start working that grind. Your boy the devil gets himself a part-time job at the local McDonald's.
At the McDonald's, huh?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, he works at a McDonald's right across the street from the discount KFC.
So good.
It's like the CFK or something like that.
That's great.
I don't know, man. This show is dumb as hell.
It sounds pretty dumb, but it also sounds pretty funny.
It is very funny. And then all the characters that got transported through the portal, they're slumming. They're trying to get by in this life so they can get ahead. And potentially figure out how to return home or get some of their former glory back.
Very interesting.
But the devil is overall he's a good boy.
That's good.
He's a pretty good guy. He doesn't,
despite being actual Satan.
Yeah, and he doesn't complain about working at his job at the McDonald's. He works very hard.
If I may, so to be clear, this is the devil. This is not a demon.
This is the devil. This is
the
Satan.
devil.
Yeah,
straight up Satan, Beelzebub, Lord of the Flies, whatever. All right, cool.
Yeah, now he is a late teenager, early 20s.
Motherfucker out here flipping burgers.
Yeah,
for minimum wage.
Yeah, in the McDonald's, dude, roughing it. My favorite thing is like his horse or whatever they had in the other world.
Mm-hmm.
He has a bike, so he names his bike after the horse. Dude, there's so many good, funny things in this show.
It's pretty good.
It's quite wholesome.
I gotta check this out.
Yeah. The romantic angles in it are appropriate and they're fun. The way that the devil's confidants, his closest allies, the way they obsess over him, try to protect him, especially his main one, it's fucking hilarious.
Is this like some Lord Gabaru-sama kind of shit? Like
kinda
a little bit, like they're just lackey straight up.
Yeah, but really they're
more
kinda,
character.
Yeah, they're more character. And they're not so much. Well, a couple of them are. As more get introduced, at least one of them is kind of an idiot. He's kind of a neat.
Oh, okay.
And then the other one is overly protective. He's fatherly towards him.
Wow.
It is a beautiful show, and this new season you get dropped in quick. The first season has a lot of really cool fight scenes and stuff too. That's another fun thing.
Okay.
Is that it does get brought into the real world. People are tracking them down, trying to find them. And they have made friends, especially Mao has made friends with humans, and he does not wish to harm them or anything like that.
Well, that's nice of him.
Which actually, there's one of them, the big titty, hard-working girl in the McDonald's.
That's all I needed to hear.
Yep.
You sucker.
She loves the hell out of him, man.
Oh no.
But I don't know, dude. It's a lot of fun. You have to see it. This season, the kicker so far, I've only watched a couple episodes, is that a child has mysteriously appeared. Just an absolute little BB.
Aww.
And she says that the main girl, the angel or whatever, and the devil are her parents.
Oh wow.
Mama and Papa. And it's already leading to some very funny shenanigans.
It sounds like some good shenanigans.
Yeah, this show is full of shenanigans, and it's hilarious, dude. Was it worth the wait? No, that wait was too goddamn long. But I love this show. It's hilarious, and I highly recommend. The first season is only like 12 or 13 episodes long. This one is 3 episodes in now. You have the time to wham jam through that first season and really, go into a fun show. It's got to be good if they waited 9 fucking years and still made a sequel season to it.
Yeah,
so
no
there
kidding.
you go. Back from the fucking grave. I really like it. I think it's fun. I'm happy that it's finally here. There are more sequels coming out this year. This year is loaded with good sequels, and this was the first of the list that that came out that I'm super stoked for. So It's a great show. Pick it up and watch it.
Yeah, man. Sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about that is that it's called the McDonald's. I love that.
Yeah, dude.
I love when they take, the Starbucks or the McDonald's or whatever it is and give it a fake name so they don't get sued or whatever. And those are my favorite things in animes.
Yeah.
What was it? We had that one where they went to the Yummies and got a steak instead of Denny's.
And I'm not even doing
this
this show justice, dude. You just have to watch it.
It sounds like it's a little bit of a comedy slice of life, little bit of shonen with the fights and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's just a little mishmash.
Yeah, it's a little mishmash of everything, and everything they do, pretty fucking good.
Fucking rips, huh?
Yep.
I gotta check it out. I actually started to try and slam through the first season so I could watch a little bit of this one with you, but I got distracted by a bunch of other stuff last couple weeks.
You might let Haley take a look at it too. I think
maybe
Yeah.
We'll see what she thinks. Very good. Love that. Gonna check it out. Sounds like a good old time, and what a great sequel series. My turn. I got that I'm gonna talk about here is a little show. This one aired last year, season 1. I believe it was spring last year. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know you will. It's called Shadow's House. Season 2 started up this past July. The
manga just started coming out here. I've been ordering it for the store.
Ooh, I might have checked that out. I'm not a big manga guy, but I do like this series. So Shadow's House is a
Oh, and they just showed off Nindroids for the main character and her shadow. Yeah,
and the shadow. But that's the question. Which of them is the main character? Because that's the thing. You hear like
this is one I've been wanting to check out.
You see this like the show, the manga, the any promotional image. You see a girl and what looks to be that girl, but like they just selected her in Photoshop and like just did a fill black. Like it's just a silhouette of this character. But what you are seeing is in fact two different characters. So Shadow's house is I guess like a little bit of a drama, little bit of a horror, little bit of a slice of life. I'm not really sure what's going on totally. I mean, I don't know where to put it, but it's a series about basically you've got this big ass manor with several wings, and we mostly hang out in the children's wing where we have these shadows. It's their house. There is Lord Grandfather, who's like Big Daddy Shadow, who runs everything. And we have these characters who are shadows, and each of them has a living doll, quote unquote, which is their face. The idea here being that, as it is introduced to you in the show, the face is meant to be the shadow's servant, their own personal little servant, and also is meant to convey their emotions. So there's one character that we meet in the show who's a little bit older than most of the main cast we interact with, who every time she moves, she's like one of those kind of anime characters. And every time she moves, every time she does anything, every little movement of her hand or body, you see her face, her living doll, this human character standing behind her, mirroring it exactly and making whatever facial pose, because as a shadow, she has no way to actually express what she's doing on her face.
I see.
Right. So it very quickly starts dropping these hints that something incredibly sinister is happening here beyond what you may already be thinking. Season 1 has been out for a year, so I will get a little bit spoilery here, but mostly I'm going to talk about season 2. But for the introduction, basically, we find out that these are not living, they are living dolls, quote unquote. They are just humans. They are humans who have already been somewhat brainwashed and are in the process of being brainwashed further. And the ultimate goal appears to be, I mean, this is a big spoiler, so skip ahead 30 seconds on your podcast app. I'll give you 5 to do that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The big end game for most of these is that the shadow takes over the human body. And the shadow still looks like a shadow, but if they need to, or if they need to interact with other humans, they can drop their shadow form, revealing the human underneath it. It gets pretty dark pretty quick. The thing here is our main characters are Kate, the shadow, and Emilico, which is her doll. Those are the characters you may see if you look at any promotional image.
That's the Nindroid.
That's the Nindroid. Kate and Emilico, probably. So these two, Kate is very incredibly clever, very smart. You get a little bit of these moments when she's interacting with other characters that are like, you know, a little bit of some Death Note shit with her outsmarting them and realizing things before anyone else was able to. But it gives you enough hints that maybe you can figure out what's going on if you're paying attention. And you're as smart as she is, obviously. But then Emilico is kind of a little ditzy dum-dum, but she's incredibly sincere, and Kate is her friend. She does see her as her master, obviously, but she is more than anything. Kate tells her, no, we need to work together, because Kate knows something's wrong in this house and she's trying to figure it out. Is she then going to try and stop it? That remains to be seen. But she knows something's up. There's something the adults and everyone are not telling them. There's something that the star bearers, as they're called, which are the higher ups in the children's ring, also children mostly, some of them teens, there's something they know that they're not telling everyone. And everything, it's just there's these weird moments where like everything is so in service to Lord Grandfather, Big Daddy Shadow, that she knows something's wrong here. But at the same time, you also have little monsters and stuff. These shadows, they produce this soot. That soot can come alive and coalesce into these monsters. This last episode of season 2 had a really big monster that they had to deal with. It was pretty fun. Soot can get into the human people, the living dolls, and cause them soot sickness, which is where they become basically these weird little walking zombies. It is possible that if they do not form a decent enough connection, that the shadow can wither and stop existing, at which point you've got a living doll with no shadow, and now that living doll becomes little more than a slave. They're called faceless dolls, and they walk around in these shawls and just do everything that no one else wants to do and has to do. It's a really bleak kind of scenario that we find these characters in, and yet there is a bit of humor in here. They have their moments, they have their fun. It's a lot of a big mystery more than anything. But there are a little bit of horror elements. It's dripping in this, like, I don't know if it's Gothic, Victorian, or Edwardian. I'm sure my girlfriend would be able to correct me on whatever term I'm trying to find. But it's
to me,
dripping.
It looks Gothic.
It's dripping in this old, this old style.
Like Baroque.
Baroque's good. Borderline, not quite, but pretty close to a Bloodborne style. And you get some weird monsters in there. There's one bit where in season 1 where someone gets taken over by this soot monster thing and just turns into a straight up weird spider head thing. It's wild. I sent you a picture of that one. It was crazy. But yeah, I am really into this show. The second season, it is building on these mysteries, introducing more characters, and giving you all new, like, weird shit that's happening. There's some of the living dolls are trying to work with their shadows, but at the same time, they're also trying not to get brainwashed, because that's how this works. If they're not careful, then they can just as easily fall into the same routine as everyone else, and suddenly they just aren't them anymore. They stop being a person, and oh no, shit's bad. It's pretty harrowing. But yeah, I enjoy this show. It's definitely one that, like, if you're not into seeing kids in peril, maybe this isn't for you. Not quite as bad as the next one we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
But Shadow's House, I think if any of that sounds good, check out some clips. Maybe you'll like it. I think it's a good old time, and I'm really enjoying the second season.
Sounds spooky.
Yeah, it's pretty spooky. But check it out. That's Shadow's House. And now with that, let's move on to our third and final sequel series.
You know what's
of the season?
Spookier than shadows trying to take over humans?
What's that?
Child abuse.
Oh boy. So we're of course talking about Made in Abyss season 2.
Yeah.
It has a proper title, doesn't it? Hang on, let me look it up. But tell me a little bit about Made in Abyss. Like, what is it?
Well, me and your girl Rika, we have something in common. Now, Rika might not know it just yet, but we are orphans.
Oh God.
Made in Abyss is a show about humans that explore this gigantic, mysterious pit on an island they live on. Mm-hmm. Now, the pit has otherworldly creatures, stuff that you do not find in the real world unless they come up from the pit. And the pit has several different layers. Each layer is unique. And the further you go down, the faster you ascend. It's almost like, or the faster you descend, the harder it is to go back to the surface.
The big thing
to
is
the point of where, like, it's kind of like the bends.
Yes.
Except this is maybe worse than the bends.
Yeah, there's a straight up curse on this place. If you start going back, if you go up from any depth, you're gonna experience at least, like on the first of it, at least some dizziness. Further down, you're straight up bleeding and probably gonna die. But way further down, you just ain't doing it, baby. It ain't happening.
Yeah.
Or under the right circumstances, you might turn into some kind of weird monster. But yeah, first season dealt with them going way on down. Then we had the movie.
Yep.
Then we have, it's called Made in Abyss. The Golden City of the Scorching Sun is the proper title for this second season. And the thing that gets me about this one is it starts after watching our main characters, that being Rico, Reg, and eventually Nanachi, going through that first season and then going through this movie. This one starts with a whole different set of characters.
Yep.
And I haven't done a lot of research onto this because I don't want to spoil myself, and it's very easy to run across a spoiler accidentally.
Yeah.
But my understanding is that they are taking like two different arcs and telling them simultaneously. And folks that I have seen online who have like read the manga and whatnot are so far very impressed with the way they're able to blend these two together, because this would have been like two separate, completely separate stories.
Interesting.
Is my understanding. I don't know how accurate that is. Lord knows everyone might be lying to me. But I'm into this show. Here's the thing.
They need to add maybe need to add some trigger warnings to some of these episodes.
So look, this one first of all, the first season and the movie, you are watching some very young kids in some very real danger, almost dying, straight up getting almost killed by stuff. I think it's episode 9 of season 1 is where shit goes real fucking bad. And homegirl, you are watching a child bleeding from every orifice and almost dying.
Ghibli-esque torture. That's
a good way. Yeah, you know how Ghibli always draws the water, like how it like it's all gooey and wild looking, and it's great. It's really good. Now that's blood. That's blood and gore coming out of someone, and it hurts. It hurts to look at. Despite these characters being so fucking cute with their big ass heads.
Yeah, and it loves to give you a cute character that you want some redemption for, or maybe, and they just kill it.
Yeah,
they're gonna make you cry.
So
they're gonna try at least.
This one, the first episode where it starts with these other characters, one of the very first things you see, content warning for child abuse and straight up like sexual assault of a minor, of a child.
Yeah, it's a child getting molested.
Now, I mean, they don't show everything, obviously, because Jesus, you couldn't. But
don't put it too far past them, though.
It gets pretty bad. You do see what is clearly a small child being held down, and then the shot of what's above them, a very large man just like drooling. It's bad, y'all. It is not an easy show to watch. I don't know why I keep watching it, but I enjoy. I want to know what happens.
Yeah,
that's really it. The show has yet to get so bad that I just can't watch it. It does have several moments where I'm like,
yeah. I think part of that, dude, is because the show it's
incredibly dark.
Yeah, it's dark, and the parts that are bad, but overall the show is so fascinating.
It is interesting.
The world that they built is so alive.
It is a fascinating world they inhabit, and this one,
it feels like it'd be a disservice not to find out what they have planned with this world.
I get you, yeah. It is some shit though, man, and it's one of those things where like they'll have season 2, we start with this other set of characters. We see them approaching. Minor spoiler warnings. You find out pretty quickly that they are getting to this island where this hole that leads into the abyss is, before there's even a town there. So this is at least hundreds of years previous. Yeah. I mean, gotta be at least hundreds. I'm not gonna try to guess how many really, but a lot of years before the events of season 1 as we know them. And then we jump back ahead, and then it's Rico and Red going down further, having left fucking Bondred's crazy ass. And like some of the stuff that happens here is like, it's one of those, we just had a discussion where it's like one of those where this is really weird, this world. It is only made weirder by the fact that we are watching, again, children interacting and doing these things. How far have you gotten into this season?
2 episodes.
2 episodes, okay. So you have not seen the licking toilet yet.
No, I have not.
I gotta tell you about this one. Okay. Sorry, spoiler.
Tell me about the licking toilet.
They end up in what is basically an inn. Rico, she's a little adventurer, so
no, dude, I think I'm already figuring this out.
She ate some food that like was probably not good for her. She got a sensitive tummy, so she ends up staying there. And the toilet, I mean, there is a toilet, but like she's got it bad. She's got the revenge. So you see her get off the toilet, and she looks back. She's like, I don't know if I'm used to this toilet yet. And there's what appears to be these little like sea anemone things poking out of it. And she does say, I mean, at least it wipes for you. And I'm like, dog, I don't know about this one. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, so you got like a living bidet in there.
It's a living bidet. It's straight up. Well, I don't know that it's alive, but everything else in this show is alive, so it's probably alive.
I had in my mind when you said licking toilet that it would be a toilet.
Somebody's gonna lick a toilet?
No, with a toilet with a big tongue coming out. It's just gonna give her, a front to back lick or some weird shit like that.
I mean, it's not too far off. Not too far off. That's the thing, man. Is like, I don't know. It's one of those where I don't. Less and less, like when we first talked about Made in Abyss and we reviewed it, it's always review and recommendation. I think it's worth watching. I think you got to be prepared for some gnarly shit, but it's worth watching. It is becoming less and less easy to recommend the show. But here I am.
Yeah. I mean, you're already here, baby.
Yeah. That's the thing is like it never is presented in a way that is like sexualizing the kids, but you are going to see shit that's like so fucking bonkers and is only 10 times more bonkers because it is happening to children.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And I just don't know. So I'll tell you, I'm up to, I think it was episode 4 is the most recent one. Me and Haley are caught up.
Yeah.
We're watching it together. It's gonna get worse before it gets better.
Here's the thing that I've noticed about the second season already.
Yeah.
And I still, once again, I want to say that I still think it's good. I'm in for the long haul here, at least for now. The first season is strange, but there's enough in between to where it doesn't overstay its welcome of being strange.
Yeah.
And then there are scenes in there that are incredibly graphic and violent.
Yeah.
But they never overstay their welcome.
Sure.
This season is fucking weird, and there are a couple things that, like, okie dokie.
Yeah. You talk like there's, without spoiling anything, there's like, you should have seen like the little dudes who were sewn up. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Yeah.
Don't know.
And I mean, I'll just go ahead and we talked about this. We'll talk about this first episode just a little bit again.
Yeah.
So you start with a scene of molestation, and that scene goes on for a little while.
Yeah, it's not like extended, but it's like at least a minute and a half.
And then you're dealing, you have to sit through and like, maybe that sounds too callous, but the girl is clearly traumatized.
Yeah.
And you're living that trauma, through her character for the first portion of this episode. And then the episode flips forward over to our normal crew, and by the end of it, Rika is shitting in an elevator. She
got a sensitive tummy.
It's bonkers, dude. Like that. I don't know that I've ever been through an episode that went through so much in one small little span there.
Can I just tell you, there's a part of episode 3 that is gonna just piss you off.
Maybe this is gonna be so. In the first season, it was like there was almost like an obsession with Reg's penis.
I mean, maybe
not an obsession. Maybe that's too strong of a word.
Well, he's a robot, so it's weird that he has one.
They do bring up his penis a whole lot.
He's a robot. It is weird that he has one.
And there is a guy that just pulls his pants and checks out his penis.
Nothing robotic about those balls of yours or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Are they gonna flip this with Rika shitting?
I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know about this one, Chief. I don't know.
I just don't know why. I don't know why. Why are we here? Why do we do the things we do?
Baby, you ain't seen nothing yet.
All right, man. It's still, I mean, it's Made in Abyss, so you're here for,
Look, if you've made it this far, you're gonna watch it. That's the thing. If you have not, if you're listening to this and you haven't watched Made in Abyss, I don't know. Like, you gotta give it a couple episodes.
Yeah, I've only been 2 episodes in, but I haven't got that level. Yeah. I haven't got that level of beauty that I got from the first season or the movie.
The music's still really good.
Sure.
And I think in episode 3 they bring back that I think it's called River.
Yeah, that Kevin Bacon or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, that's such a good track.
Interesting show.
It's
fucking weird, but
baby, you ain't seen nothing yet.
All right, man. Well, how many episodes this season?
I don't know. It's got to be like 11 or 12, right? I don't know. We'll find out.
If that cute little animal dies, I'm gonna be so upset.
I'm not gonna spoil anything.
Oh God.
I'm not spoiling anything.
Okay.
Would you like me to tell you the ultimate fate of said animal so far?
Didn't it get abducted?
Roger,
in episode 2? Yeah.
I will assuage your fears.
Okay.
The animal does not die.
Okay.
Fucking close though.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Why do we do the things that we do?
I don't know.
Why
was I hard? I don't. Anyway, that's made in Abyss season 2.
I'm an orphan. Man. I don't know if I can handle this.
You're a bad guy. You know that. Anyway, I think we're done talking about sequel series. And Roger's newfound orphandom. Yes. So we're gonna go ahead and bust on into maybe a short ramble, couple of what have we been watching. Roger, I think, had a topic he wanted to discuss briefly, so look forward to that if you are on the YouTube. If you are listening to the audio, we're going to go straight into it.
Yeah, don't worry, YouTube is all going to be combined.
Oh,
into
yes,
one
that's
thing
right.
Now.
It's going to be one thing now.
I ain't spending my time on that.
Hey, so you're going to get the whole thing here in just a second, and if you don't want to hear the ramble...
Good buddies, you should be getting this full episode right away.
If you got what you wanted, which was us talking about sequel series, then by all means, feel free to skip to the end so it looks like you watched the whole thing. But yes, we're going to bust on into the ramble. Roger, do we know what we're doing next time?
I have not decided. Maybe we'll talk about it. We'll
figure it out. We don't know. Maybe it'll be another challenge thing where we watch something. Maybe we'll be doing
I haven't had a whole lot of time to put thought into many things.
Maybe I think before in previous seasons we've done a thing where like we kind of check into what we're still watching so many weeks into the new season. Maybe we'll do a movie night. Who can say? We'll figure something out. Yeah. But it will be there, and you will be here hopefully to check it out. Thank you so much, good buddies, for listening. Full links at the end of the ramble, and we're gonna get on out of here. Do we even bother going to the ramble now?
Yeah. And we're in the ramble.
All right, and okay, but for real, okay, love you. And we're in the ramble. All right, now we're in the ramble.
But no, we don't have to do all that because I'm not cutting the episode.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna miss it. Okay, I'm gonna miss it.
You can put it at the very end.
But it's not in the ramble.
You can still say "and we're in the ramble," but
we're out the ramble.
But you don't have to. Cut off with the love you.
Okay, fine, whatever.
Like the episode's over, and we're in the ramble, and then at the very end you go, "Love you."
Well, I do love you.
There you go, man.
All right. Well, so Roger, do you have anything else to say about any of these sequel series?
No.
Okay. Well,
not at all.
Before I ask you the question, I always ask you, and you know it burns within my very soul.
Okay.
If I real quick, I do have a couple notes from the corrections department.
Okay.
First of all, previously on the
we missed an anime.
So first of all, on the tier list, I referred to a show as Smile of the Ars Notoria, and it's called Smile on the Ars Notoria. Now, I mixed up those two words, but also, neither of them make any goddamn sense because the girl's name is Ars Notoria. So why is she the Ars Notoria? I'm cutting myself slack on that one. Wrong title. Second, I thought that Tokyo Mew Mew New was like a years later continuation of a show. It is in fact like a straight up remake, so I would call that a reboot. So that is one that should have been on the list and it was not. Still haven't watched it. I will have something for you next ramble.
Yeah, and there's one more.
What's that?
There's the Uncle Isekai.
Well, it wasn't out at the time when we did the tier list.
Okay.
Yeah,
but we didn't even do a soul read on it.
We did not. I don't know. I watched the trailer. I thought it looked dumb.
Yeah.
So soul read right now. What do you think Uncle Isekai is
I haven't
gonna be
watched
like?
it yet, but I'm gonna put it as a cliffhanger.
Okay, that sounds right to me. Well, we got there. Roger, that being said, I have a question that burns within my very soul and I must know the answer. What have you been watching?
Mind Over Murder.
Yes.
That's what I watched.
That's one that I turned you on to. I've been watching it with Haley.
It's not anime. It's true crime.
It's a true crime on HBO.
My wife and I watched it, and actually she gave up here and there, and she'd just come back and watch. But I was captivated.
Yeah. I was not as into it at first, but I did become more enwrapped by it as we went on, and I was like, honestly, I didn't think the last episode was going to be all that crazy because I was like, well,
it was really good.
We kind of figured it out, but then like the last episode, man, it's powerful. So without any big spoilers for the show, if anyone wants to check out a pretty good true crime show on HBO Max, Mind Over Murder is a investigation and interview series with people involved in and surrounding the case of the Beatrice 6. It is spelled like Beatrice. It is pronounced Beatrice.
Yep.
Don't Google Beatrice 6 if you don't want to spoil some stuff for yourself, because watching the mystery unfold is pretty interesting. But yeah, it's basically a story of a lady who was murdered, an old lady who was assaulted and murdered in her home in this small town. And the people who were arrested and tried in the case, and that lady's family, and the law enforcement surrounding the case. So it's about all those people, and it's pretty powerful shit, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how much we want to give away, but like,
you can't give too much away.
Can't give too much away.
You know, it's got a lot of twists.
Yeah, it's really twisty, but
it's like those M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong movies.
Yeah, it's a Shyamalan Ding. That's a real Shyamalan. I would say that I can say that in the end, it's a story about this murder and this case and trial, but more than that, it's a story about, to me, what I got from it is it's a story about pain and how different kinds of pain are not more powerful or more valid than others necessarily, but they are different, if not necessarily equal. Is that fair, you think?
Yeah. There's a certain level of, you know, like being fed something your whole life and then learning to accept something new, and how hard that can be, especially if a trauma is involved.
Yeah, no kidding.
And you know, and that goes for kind of both parties in the show.
Yes.
Also, there is a play happening.
Yes.
Because it's very much part of the community. This is community lore. This is the biggest thing that's ever happened in this town.
It would be as if, for example, just because it's an easier one to draw, I think. We live in Waco. The biggest, if you ever Google Waco, you're gonna find a bunch of shit about David Koresh and the French Davidians, which was a big thing where a fucking government came through and fucked these people up. It was like a cult or something.
Murdered a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
Now, granted, you know, there was, you know, some cult stuff going on out there, but that's not a reason to murder people.
Probably not.
There's a lot. Children.
There's a lot going on there, but
yeah, it was a major fucked up. It was just messed up all the way around.
Yeah.
David Koresh wasn't a great guy, but
no, absolutely not, by no means.
Yeah.
But yeah, the handling of it was seen as particularly egregious.
Yep.
Thank you, Janet Reno. But the big thing, the comparison I'm drawing is like, it would be if that is like easily the biggest, most traumatic thing that happened anywhere near our town. It wasn't in Waco. It was outside.
Yeah, you might find
Close
stuff about
enough.
that biker shootout a few years ago.
Right,
too.
the biker shootout as well. But it would be as if like that is a huge point of stigma, to the point that I remember seeing like Facebook groups and shit of people who were like, I'm from Waco, but I'm not a Branch Davidian, because like that's all people know about Waco. It would be as if that happened, and then like so many years later, someone was like, let's do a big play and put it on in Waco, and it'll be a big deal, and everybody got pissed off, like, no, fuck off, don't do that.
Yeah.
So that's like the play that's going on. And like, as I was watching the show, I was like, man, I don't really give a shit about this play. I mean, it's kind of interesting, but whatever. The play ends up being such a huge part of the finale.
Yeah.
It
really does.
It's good shit. If you want some good true crime shit, Mind Over Murder's a hell of a series.
Yeah.
It's only like 5 episodes, like less than an hour each episode.
Just be ready. You do hear the word butt fucked at least.
It happens a couple times.
Yep.
I'm glad they kept the line in.
Yep.
Spoiler. But
It shouldn't make me giggle, but it made me giggle every time.
I laughed. I did. I felt bad. I was like, oh no, don't laugh at that, boy. That's bad. But yeah, hell of a show.
Yeah.
Anything else you've been watching? Sequel series, obviously.
Yeah, just a sequel series. A little bit of wrestling.
A little bit of wrestling.
Yeah, a little bit of wrestling. A lot of shake up in the world of wrestling.
Man, fucking, if you're listening to this and you're into wrestling at all, it's been a hell of a few months, right?
Yeah.
Like, pretty much the whole first half of this year has been bonkers.
Yep.
Just
and now it just keeps
bonkers.
escalating. Vince McMahon's gone.
It's got to
crazy.
be
It's
over,
fucking
right?
wild.
It can't be another big, crazy, huge thing.
Well, I mean, we have the fallout from all this stuff, which is going to be its own big crazy thing.
That's going to be massive, certainly, yeah. Oh, shit's
we'll
wild.
see what happens.
Shit's wild.
Brandon, you been watching anything you want to talk about?
I've been watching a little bit. Let me pull up the tier list I typed up so I can look through here and see what
I
I've
did
been
watch
watching.
a movie, too.
What'd you watch?
I made Kat watch the first Hellraiser.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, man.
I've never seen Hellraiser.
I think it's a great movie.
It's one of those I know of, but
Yeah.
I've never actually watched it.
It's a great movie. I don't think she liked it. I don't know. I think that Kat doesn't like old movies, kind of.
Yeah.
Especially if if they're not, like if it's a little jumpy.
They call him
It's from
Pin.
the-
It's Pin Face, right?
Pinhead.
It is Pinhead.
Pinhead.
Okay.
In the first movie, they just call him Leader Cenobite. He doesn't even have a name in the movies. Like they don't say his name at all.
Right.
At all.
So is he like a demon or something?
No, he's an extra dimensional entity.
What in the fuck? And he looks like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
There are other Cenobites in there too. They all look fucking freaky, dude. They're
Do
cool.
they all have pins in their
Yeah,
fucking
man. No,
heads?
you got to look at the Chatterer.
I don't know if I want that.
He'd be clicking his teeth, dude.
I definitely don't want that. That upsets me. That one episode of fucking Demon Slayer where they had the demon that kept grinding their teeth was very difficult for me to watch. And that guy, he was just there for like a second, and I was like, ugh! Anyway.
It's a good movie, man. I quite enjoyed it. But
Maybe I
okay,
should
there
check
you
that
go.
out. All right. So what have I been watching? Definitely none of these. Definitely not that thing. Let's see. So from the lowest down on the tier list, I did watch more of Smile of the on the Ars Notoria, the anime. I almost said it again. Smile on the Ars Notoria.
Smile on me, baby.
It continues.
Smile on me.
It continues to be just like cute girls doing cute shit, and then every now and then there's just a scene of like some knight dudes murdering people they have yet to meet. They have made reference to the knights in the cute girl parts. They say there's like a thing where they have to hunt down these bugs which are attracted to magic because they're in a magic school. It's kind of like the Scorches in
Is one of these girls going to take like a magical spear to the head or something?
No idea. No idea.
Just out of nowhere, and that's how it kicks out.
Honestly, maybe. It wouldn't shock me. I mean, it would shock me a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. It's just you're watching like a show, and then there's like a 2-minute segment of a completely different show. So I really don't know what the deal is yet, but I'm intrigued enough that I am still watching it. It's up to 4 now. I don't know. If they don't do something by 6, I'll probably drop it, honestly, but who am I kidding? I'll probably keep watching because I am nothing if not a glutton for punishment. I have not watched any more Engage Kiss. Have you?
Nope.
All right.
I'm telling you, I haven't watched anything else yet.
I watched a couple more episodes of Black Summoner, which is the one with it's the isekai and the dude. Like it's very bog standard. Like dude's a summoner. He doesn't have his memories. Blah blah blah. In that 3rd episode, he did in fact go to the slave trader and buy a slave, and I don't understand why this keeps happening in these isekais. It's just, if I had, hey Roger, fun question. If you could make any anime, what would you make? You know what I'd make? I'd make a fucking isekai. And first episode, dude would get isekai'd. He's walking around. Oh, I got OP powers. Crazy. He would meet a slave trader and he would just go, nah, we ain't doing that, and kill the slave trader and free everybody. And then you're ruined. This is part of the economy. However you feel about it, it's a business. And I'm like, then the economy's fucked. I'm an anarchist now, and we just blow up everything. This is now. This is the liberation isekai. All right.
Yeah.
What would you make?
There you go.
I think when we did this before, you said something like, I'd make a sequel to Devil is a Part-Timer.
Yeah.
There might have been a different show.
Here's what I would do. The first thing that I would do is, if somebody suggested to me, I would get a team, and if somebody in the team suggested to me, hey, maybe we should make an isekai, they're really popular, I'd fire them immediately.
Okay.
Because I'm not making an isekai. And then after that, we would probably sit around with our thumbs in our ass because I fired the only person with an idea.
Yep, that's how it would happen. But then you'd be like, I don't know, something about a band, and it would be really good.
Yeah, maybe.
We're gonna make
Stool Boys anime.
Still Boys the anime. It's a country band in Japan.
Yeah.
That almost rhymes. Let's make it happen.
And actually, I don't think they've done that anime yet.
Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, that's a, you know what that is?
An original idea right there.
That's a spark of inspiration, my guy. All right. But yeah, I watched a couple more of that one. I think I'm done with it. Parallel World Pharmacy is the other isekai that I watched. I still like this one. And I do enjoy it, and I'm probably gonna, this is the one isekai I'm gonna keep watching this season. I know, it's an isekai, but it's pretty fun. Yeah, my boy's yawning real hard. Whatever, man. I get it. I'm with you. I agree, but also, I'm still watching it. Watched a little bit more of Shine On, Bakamatsu Bad Boys. I do not share your enthusiasm for this show, and I think I'm dropping it.
Okay.
I got to 3. I gave it 3. There you go.
Okay.
The best we can ask for.
That one is getting a dub, so I might wait around and let the dub.
Well, there you go. That'll probably be pretty good.
Yeah.
Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting. I got to 3. It's still cute. It's also incredibly slow, and I think I'm done with Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting.
Gotta drop them, baby. Gotta drop them.
Call of the Night. I'm still watching Call of the Night. I do like Call of the Night. I think it is a good show. However, it does do this thing that so by all means, skip ahead. Call me a fucking soy boy beta cuck, fucking feminist shill or whatever. There's this thing that happens mostly in advertising. That yes, I read about this because I didn't go to a women's study class or anything, but I've read up on some of this stuff. And there's a thing that they'll do mostly in advertising. They do in this show a few times, for sure in episodes 1, 3, and 4. I don't remember 2. Maybe they did it in 2, where what you do is, in order to make you not look at this human as a human, you not literally, but you dismember them. So like the one shot from the first episode where the girl's sitting there talking, and you see her just from the neck down. It's designed to make you only think of her body, not as a person. So I'm not saying that's what they're doing in the show. I am saying it happens a lot, and it kind of bums me out. But otherwise, I do enjoy the show. That's like one little nit for me to pick, but it's, yeah, I do enjoy the show. I'm still watching it. I just figured
they were showing off that sexy body.
Well, yeah, that's the idea. But then that's the thing, is you stop, if that's how you keep looking at the character or as a person, you don't think of them as a human. You think of them as an object. It's literally objectifying this character. And you notice they never do it to the dudes. But she
is a vampire.
She is a vampire. They also do it to the human girl who does show up in episode 3.
Okay.
Ha ha ha, wink wink.
You know, I thought that I do know what you're talking about. I just thought it was a stylistic.
Perhaps, choice. But it's a thing. Know, though. It's a thing I've seen enough in other media and other shit that I'm like, every time I see it, I'm like, it kind of side eye it. I like the show. I'm still watching the show. I enjoy the show. I think it's a good show. The intro, outro, and some music during the show fucking kick ass. It's very lively and very fun, and the use of colors still fucking I love. There's still a lot of shots where they're like dudes just walking down the street, or like it's just a cityscape view, and you see those.
It's getting it too on that art animation.
Oh yeah, it's like these giant fucking galaxies. You don't get that in the city. That's fake. That's not real. But it looks really good in this fucking show. So yeah, Call of the Night's decent. Stepmom's Daughter is my ex. I'm not all the way caught up on that one, but I got to 3, and I don't think I'm out, but it's a little slow, and I had other shit to watch. Maybe I'll get back to it. Lycoris Recall. Really smooth animation, guns and shit, and it's pretty fun, pretty funny. They did, lest you go thinking this is like, you know, such an amazing, perfect show. They did have a whole episode where the entire plot of it, with very little exception, was the one girl taking the other girl to go panty shopping. So there you go. It was fine.
Was it a good episode?
It was pretty funny. It had its moment.
Make your pee-pee hard?
It did not make my pee-pee hard. The way they got there was pretty funny, because like she's like playing a VR game, and she's like obviously she's like a fucking assassin. She's way too into it. She's like dodging and ducking, and she does a big backflip to avoid getting shot wearing the fucking VR headset. And it does a thing where like the other girl is like behind her, and it shows her head in the way of the upskirt, so you don't see her panties. And then later it's revealed that she wasn't wearing panties, nor was she commando. She was wearing straight up male's boxer shorts, because these are orphans. Relatable, right?
Right.
These are orphans.
We wear the same type of underwear.
Who has been conscripted by these are orphans who have been conscripted by the government to become these teenage assassins, which is not great. Obviously, I'm hoping the show will do more to say, hey, that's bad that this happened, but we'll see. But like the whole thing is she has like no frame of reference, so she's wearing men's underwear because she was like, the dude where they're living, the cafe they're living at, she was like, so, I mean, what do I need? He's like, I mean, we got pretty much everything. You got your uniform. You definitely need underwear. She's like, what kind of underwear should I get? He's like, I like boxers. So she wears boxers. And homegirl's like, nah, motherfucker, we got to get panties. What if someone sees him? It's like, they're not supposed to see him. Yeah, but what if someone does? It's like, all right. It's kind of funny.
Boxer briefs, they're comfortable, man.
They were like boxer briefs. Yeah, that's her whole thing. And she's like, these are...
They should be the universal underwear. I mean, wear what makes you feel nice.
Definitely do that. But like they have a whole thing where she's like, look, they're easy to move around in, and it's great for when I'm in combat.
I don't know why more women don't wear them.
like their arguments back and forth about the underwear are very funny. But yeah, it's a good time. Phantom of the Idol, I'm still watching. I still think it's it's definitely among my most favoritists right now. They're still doing stuff. They're making moves. Stuff is happening in that show that I don't know where it's going to go, but I like it. We do have one of our soul reads that aired, and that is the maid I hired recently is Mysterious. I did watch episode 1, and this is the one where we have a young, like, gotta be 10, 12 max, blonde, blue-eyed little boy, whose parent, he's an orphan.
Heyo.
Relatable. And he his parents are gone. They left him a little bit of money. He's like, hey, he kicks out all the staff, all the butlers and maids. And they're like, are you sure you want us to go? He's like, I just don't have enough to keep you guys on. Thank you, but I'm gonna be okay on my own. There you go. And then a tan-skinned, purple-eyed, busty as fuck maid just shows up one day and is like, hey, I want to work for you for free as long as I got a place to stay. And he's like, okay. And it is marked as a romantic comedy, and it appears to be some kind of romantic comedy, and I don't trust like that. You know I don't. I've been wrong before, but I don't trust like that. Here's the thing about this show is it's just kind of the same joke over and over again. It's always like okay, example, kid sees maid in the library. She's reading a book. She's reading to herself, but he sees her mumbling to herself. She's reading the book. And he's very paranoid and suspicious. He thinks she's some kind of witch. So then later he asks her about this. He says, hey, you're some kind of witch, aren't you? You're some kind of sorcerer. And she, thinking, haha, what a funny kid, she just plays along. And she's like, oh, yes, that's right. I am a witch. And he's like, then he bursts out and is like, I knew it. I knew you're a witch. You put some kind of spell on me. That's why I think you're so pretty. That's why I'm so attracted to you. That's why your eyes are so pretty and why I think you're the perfect woman, basically. And she's like, ugh, and like blushing and shit. And then she like freaks out and runs off to excuse herself. That happens like 3 times in this episode. It's like, hey, this food's really good. Did you put some kind of potion in here? And she's like, haha, I'll play along. Yeah, I put in a love potion. She's like, I knew it. That's why I get those dokies whenever you're around. I knew it. That's why I think you're so beautiful all the time. It's like, and she blushes and
that's why
off.
You make my pee-pee strong.
Exact. It's just that over and over again. And I'm like, I don't know if I can deal with this. I guess I'll give it 3.
Was it as bad as you thought it was going to be?
Not as bad as I thought it. I mean, I didn't really think much of it. As I said, I don't trust like that. I don't think I really had an idea. I didn't think, episode 1, she's gonna whip his dick out. That'd be absurd, But it's definitely one that like I'm not super duper confident. The other thing that kind of bums me out about it is this is like the 3rd show in a row where dark-skinned girl equals impish. Like we got like Jahi, we got Nagatoro, Don't Tease Me Nagatoro, and now we got this one where like she's viewed as being like kind of teasing and messing with him. And it's always this is like the third in a row I've seen where it's like a dark skinned girl, usually with purple eyes. And I'm like, what is, as a brown person, I side eye that. Perhaps I'm looking too much into it, sure. But from my perspective, a little weird. But I guess we'll see how that plays out. I don't know. I'll give it 3.
You tease me so much.
It's not true. How dare you? How dare you, sir? I'm trying to think. I feel like there was something else. No, I guess that is it. I guess that is all I watched.
You watching more of that Vermel and Gold?
No, I did not. You know what? It's in my watch list. I'll give it 3 for you. How about that? Okay. I'll give it 3 for you. Next ramble, I will have an update on Vermel and Gold. Who knows? Maybe I'll love it and I'll go past 3. I really doubt that. But I will give it 3 for you, Roger.
Thank you.
Just bear in mind, you were supposed to watch 3 episodes of Engage Kiss at least. So I expect a report, sir.
I will watch it.
I expect a report, sir.
I will.
Otherwise, me and Haley, we also watched fucking Mind Over Murder, obviously. We also watched the newest Spider-Man finally, which was pretty good. And we did watch the Multiverse of Madness, the Doctor Strange thing, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
They're both fine. Spider-Man No Way Home was better than Multiverse of Madness. Multiverse of Madness is not bad. And it has some really, really great moments. But as a full story, I don't know. It was fine, but it was also like, I don't know. It didn't absolutely blow me out of my
But I watched
pants,
No Way Home and I thought it was a good movie.
No Way Home's really good. I like No Way Home a lot. It's kind of like a similar thing. Multiverse, I will not spoil anything for you, but just like in No Way Home, Multiverse, we got some cool cameos.
Oh, I already saw most of them.
Yeah.
I work in a comic book store, dude.
Oh, yeah. I figure you would have already known like a lot of these, but there's some interesting stuff. And there are definitely moments in there that are, I'm watching a horror movie. I'm watching a Marvel horror movie right now. There's parts of it that are like that, which is pretty interesting. But overall, it was above average, certainly, but not, in the pantheon of Marvel movies. I don't think it's like top 5.
Okay.
Maybe it's number 5. I don't think it's top 5, but it's decent. Roger, did you have a thing you wanted to talk about briefly?
Yeah, man. I watched more anime that I didn't tell you about. I watched more Comey Can't
You lied to me.
I did. I watched more of it because my niece came over and she fucking loves that show.
Mm-hmm.
So we watched it together, and I had a weird experience watching anime with my niece.
Mm-hmm.
My niece is she's 11 or 12.
Go ahead.
And man, we get into the episode.
So messed up.
Yeah, we get into the episode where she makes a friend that wants to be her dog.
And now I wanna be your dog.
Yeah. And I was like, ooh. And Camry, no, that's my niece's name. The whole time she's explaining, she's like, yeah, she really likes her. She wants to be her friend, but she wants to be her dog more.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, this feels weird. And then we get to the girl that loves Comey.
The Yamai.
Yamai. And then Camry's like, yeah, she's a total psychopath.
At least she knows that.
Yeah. And I was like, what do you mean? And then we get into the episode, and she straight up abducts a dude, threatens to murder him over her. I think that has to fall under that trope of gay people being evil.
Yes, she's a predatory lesbian.
Yeah,
is what we would call that. Yes. This is look, you're recognizing the tropes now. Excellent. Well done.
Well, and I'm watching with my niece, and I'm like, oh my god, am I doing something inappropriate right now?
Yeah.
Is this bad? I don't know that my niece should be watching. Should I tell her mom?
It's not the.
I actually don't think that her mom or dad would care that much.
It's not the worst thing she could be watching.
Camry, she's a preteen, but
Sure.
she could be watching worse things. She could be watching, and thank God she did not mention at all that she watched FalKKone.
Yeah, you told me the story of how a young girl
was so nervous.
Came into the
because she loves
the comic
Netflix
shop.
Anime.
Yeah. A young girl came into the comic shop and she was like looking at mangas. You're like,
and
what's your favorite?
It's been more than one young girl.
And they love FalKKone.
Oh no. No.
God,
you know
no.
what this is. No. Camry also, she does love Demon Slayer. I feel much more comfortable with Demon Slayer.
Even it's violent, but
yeah, I feel like
it's kind of a toss up. I feel like I would put Demon Slayer and Komi pretty close on for different things.
Okay.
For very different things.
I mean, we watched Dragon Ball Z when we were.
Yeah, no,
Granted, it wasn't bloody, but they were beating the fuck out of each other.
I remember being shocked when I tuned in because I feel like it was partway through the Namek saga, and for the first time I saw blood dripping out of Goku's mouth, and I was like, "Whoa, that didn't happen these previous several episodes."
Yep.
As it was airing on Cartoon Network.
So I don't feel as weird about Demon Slayer as I do.
Sure.
Now, however, I did give her a list of recommendations. And then immediately the one that she watched, I kind of regretted.
What was that?
It was Carol and Tuesday.
Oh, boy.
But, in my mind, I was like, okay, Carol and Tuesday is pretty innocent. It's a pretty cute story.
I mean, the only part I can remember.
And then I remembered the Mermaid Sisters in there. And then I remembered the recorded dude,
yes. It was it was fucking bullshit, and it was dude growing weed and cussing all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't be having those.
Yeah, so I did tell her ahead of time, like, hey, make sure you don't get in trouble for watching this. I forgot that there was something. And she was like, oh, my mom doesn't care as long as it's not every other word. And I was like, well, when you get to this guy at the end.
Yeah, there's a couple bits.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, Galactic Mermaid does whip ass.
Yeah.
That song is so ripping.
I think she'll still get through it and probably still really enjoy the story. Because I think, the story is about two young girls, so it'll be very relatable to her.
Possibly, yeah.
And not to mention that her father is a musician as well, so...
That's nice. They can watch it together.
Yeah, he ain't gonna watch it. She's trying to get him to watch Demon Slayer. That's what she's hitting on him hard about watching that Demon Slayer.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I bought her a coloring book in there.
Aw, that's cute.
She wanted to come back this week with her sister and her brother.
Is it the one with we sell a Demon Slayer coloring book at Target? Is it the one with Tanjiro and Nezuko on the cover?
Yeah, you can probably look at it in there. It's probably the same one.
Yeah, I remember looking. If it's the one I'm thinking of, I remember looking at it and thinking, if I didn't know they were brother and sister.
But yeah, it was an interesting experience, and I guess I'll have more of it because she had a great time at my house.
Well,
she loves all my shit. She had 1 million questions.
And she came into this room and she was like, Uncle Roger, why did she strip?
She didn't even... it was right there, and she didn't even... she sucked in everything looking at it, and she didn't even bat an eye at it. It was not weird to her at all.
Okay,
it felt
that's
good. It kind of makes me fear what animes have you seen, Camry? What have you seen?
Turns out she tried FalKKone and she was like, the production values in this are not to my standards.
But yeah, she's fun and she wants to come over more. She wants to bring her brother and sister. So
That's really fun.
We'll set up another time. I imagine it'll be a going occurrence.
And then you'll try to get them to play some board games.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe we'll see what happens. But she does love... Who do you think her favorite character in Demon Slayer is?
In Demon Slayer?
Yeah.
Man, I mean, because you asked, I'm going to say Zenitsu.
I think it's kind of a tie between Inosuke and Zenitsu.
Yeah.
She told me today
Inosuke is definitely my guy.
Today, she was like, we're going to be doing the Bell County Con. And she was texting me about it, and she wants to go, and she's like, I really want to cosplay as Zenitsu.
Aww!
She loves that bucktooth one.
Yeah.
The one from the dream.
Yeah, the Rat Boy. And who could forget Dear Rat Boy?
Yeah. Oh my God. We went on a whole expedition across this town to get tons of Demon Slayer figures. I have a photo of all of the different places we went and found shit at.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was fun. And she my brother, she wanted to stay with my brother because she took losing mom the hardest out of all the youngsters in our family, which there are only a couple, but
yeah.
So she went to go spend the week with her dad, and then I think she was kind of sick of dad. And then also she had to go up to the funeral home with us, and I think grandma was making her feel a little weird, great grandma.
Yeah.
Because she's like, look at these, Camry. Which urn do you want to pick out for your grandma?
Jesus Christ.
And Camry's like,
that's fucking macabre. Holy shit.
And everything, Camry's like,
do you think she'd rather be in this silver one or this bronze one?
Yeah, she's like,
where do you think she'd want to spend her everlasting?
That one, I guess, Nanny.
Holy shit, dog.
Maybe she's like, do you want a butterfly with her ashes?
Oh my god.
And she's like, sure. And then as soon as we get up and I'm looking at her, she's just like, Uncle Roger, can I go home with y'all?
Holy shit, dog.
Like, yeah, baby, you can come with us.
Oh. Well, it's nice you got to spend time with the family. Holy shit. Holy shit. That is dark.
Which urn do you want to pick out for grandma? And she's like,
oh boy. That is
oh my goodness gracious.
That is some shit, huh?
This poor child.
All right, well,
my name don't. Yeah, she's old, dude. You know, old people don't have that filter.
No filter, zero filter.
They don't have that common sense. You know, like okay, maybe this is a traumatic experience.
I'm not gonna lie, man. If I make it that far, I'm just gonna be like, you gonna deal with my old ass.
Yeah, well, that's what we do with Nanny. We deal with her.
If look, I sell phones at the Target, mostly consumer cellular. Excuse me. I get a lot of ornery old motherfuckers in there. Pardon my language. And I help them as best I can and as smiley as I can. Not that they can tell behind my mask. But when I get to that age, I will be insufferable. I assure you. I assure you. Everyone's getting a taste of my ass.
All right, dude. Well, we have anything else we need to talk about here?
I think we're mostly good.
Starting to get sweaty up in this bitch.
I feel like there was some anime news. But you know what? I don't remember what it was, and I'm simply not going to take the time to try and look it up because it's hot as a motherfucker in here.
Yep.
So with that, if you have any anime news you want to share with us or anything you want to hear us discuss, please like and comment, and wherever you're listening to or watching this, let us know. There's a number of ways to hit us up. The easiest, of course, is on the YouTube channel Rapid Kick Media, where you can like, comment, subscribe, and click that bell so we can send you notifications. If you're checking out the audio podcast, you can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, podcast.com, Podbean, whatever you're using. I used to have Stitcher, whatever. We'd love to hear from you guys. The easiest, of course, we have all of our links in the description, including social media we may or may not use, like Facebook and Twitter and all that. But the easiest ways are on the reviews, on the YouTube, and of course in the Discord. So please hit us up, let us know what you think. We'd love to hear from you. Been a while since anyone asked us questions, but if you send us a question, we'll answer them on the air. Thank you so much.
We need to find a way to get back to that.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Also next week too, we for sure will not be doing an episode next week because I am working that con.
Yeah, it's got to be a rough one.
I didn't really imply that I was going to be there working that whole afternoon.
Yeah. But we've definitely been doing like every other week, so we'll figure something out. But yes, by all means, hit us up, drop in, drop out, zip up, zip out, whip it out, jerk it off. Can you feel your masturbation?
Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Get on the floor. Get on the floor and jam. Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody walking dinosaur. Thank you so much. Quick shout out to our musicians. Thank you so much, Mary with Seamonsters, aka the Mary Janes, for the opening theme. Thank you so much, Haas, aka Thomas Tastes Better, for the closing theme on the YouTube. I'm guessing that'll still be the closing theme on the YouTube, yes?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Closing theme on the YouTube. Thank you, Haas, aka Thomas Tastes Better, on Instagram, aka DUNGEONWITCH on YouTube. And of course, a shout out to our good buddy, A Petty Theft. That is how it's pronounced. 2 P's at the beginning, 2 C's at the end. You can find Petty Theft on Twitter and on SoundCloud at Petty Theft. Thank you, Petty Theft.
Maybe we'll just use it as both of them now. I don't know.
Oh shit! Well, if you don't hear one of those two ending themes,
I guess we could shorten the episode a little bit.
If you don't hear one of those two ending themes, then you know who got dropped. Sorry, petty theft. It's probably gonna be Haas's anyway.
Well, I don't know. Haas's is shorter, but Jason's has a better lead in.
It's classic. But anyway, that'll about do it for us. Thank you so much for tuning in. Roger, do you have one to take us out on?
Yeah.
So we will see you next time when we do whatever, with whatever, watching whatever, and reviewing whatever, because we are your good buddies. And from all of us here at the Good Buddies Anime Universe, I am your good buddy, Brandon.
I am your good buddy, Roger. Calvin!
Oh, shit! Giant roach on the wall. We can't do this again. Shut it off. Shut it off. I'm killing it. And he went behind Big E.
He's behind Big E. I have to get his emoji in here, dude.
Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, there he goes. That is it's a big, big motherfucker.
Not on my misfits.
Not on the misfits.